Hi, my name is Gessy Martinez. I'm author, therapist, and coach, and I want to talk to you today about how to help you when you're dealing with times of grief and loss, helping you to remember, recover, and to recreate your life. Now, if you're the person that's helping someone to go through, I'm going to talk to you about some ways to help that person who's going through that loss. And you're the person experiencing the loss, I'm going to talk to you about some ways to allow yourself to be helped, to experience support and love as you deal with grief, as you deal with loss. So let's start with the person who is the friend who wants to help, right? You're the friend or the family member and you want to help, and you're saying, how do I help? This person has just lost their spouse, their child, a brother, a sister. How do I help? The very first thing I would encourage you to do is to learn to sit with, right? It is a very powerful thing that when someone else is experiencing that depth of pain, whether it's death, whether it's divorce, but a significant loss on their life, that a friend, a family member, people that love them are able to just sit with them. Sitting not to solve the problem, but sitting to allow them to not be alone in their pain, to not be alone at a time that feels so heartbreaking, so isolating, to know that there are people that love them and they're not afraid to sit with them in the pain, to have the courage to just come alongside, not having to have the answers, not having to be their therapist or the person providing all the solutions, but really that love is courageous enough to sit next to someone who's going through something so profoundly difficult. You have to remember that one, you don't have to have the perfect words, right? It doesn't have to be like, I know exactly what to say and exactly what to do, and this is going to be something deep that they're gonna remember forever. No, you don't have to have all of that. So you are more than qualified to sit with someone in their pain and not know exactly what to say or have the perfect words ready on your lips to deliver. It's important that when you sit with them to ask questions, because questions give the other person the permission to share, right? To share what's on their mind, what's on their heart, to be able to sort through all the questions that they have that they're afraid to ask out loud. By you asking questions, you're showing that you're interested, that they're important to you, that this is something that you want to know about. You want to know about their loss and their pain. You want to know about their uncertainties and their fears. So ask questions. Let them express what they're thinking. Let them honor the person that they lost by being able to express what they're thinking. That's honoring the relationship, honoring their memory by allowing the person who's in grief to express themselves. I want you to know that you being there is allowing you to be a quiet force of good, that you are there, and that's what means so much. Your presence, your time, your availability. You have to be careful not to analyze and not to try to make sense of their grief. Allow the person that's grieving to come to a place where they make sense of their grief on their own in a way that helps them to settle whatever unanswered questions, whatever confusion, whatever is there for them. When you give them the answer, right, that doesn't have the same power or meaning as that person coming up with the answer on their own. Because how they see it, how they experience the loss is very different from how you might see or experience it if you're part of that family or just seeing it as an outsider. So allow them, because sometimes when we're too quick to give answers, we're too quick to analyze, we miss some crucial information that we need to help us get the full picture. So allowing the person to just express and share without hurrying to come to a conclusion, a solution, an answer, we're preventing, right, doing any further harm when we allow them to share their way and not try to analyze or answer. We're allowing them to come to the conclusion that they need to come to and go through their own process. As a friend, just sitting there in the discomfort is letting them know that it's okay, right? That they don't have to put on a happy face for everyone, that they don't have to move forward so quickly when they're not ready, that they are allowed to go through their process and take a step forward when the time comes, when they're most ready, that they're not rushing to take care of you and everybody else while they're not being allowed to grieve. So sitting and allowing people the time to express themselves and move at their own pace is a gift. It's freeing, right? You're freeing them of the burden of having to take care of you or everybody else, but you're also allowing and respecting their time, their space, their way to come to the answer that they need to come to. That is what you can do to help someone who is in grief, right? And who's experiencing a deep loss in their life. Now, if you're the person going through grief and you're saying, people are asking to help me, but I'm not sure how they can help. People are knocking on my door, calling me, texting me. They want to help, but I'm not sure how to do it. I'm not that kind of person. I take care of things on my own, right? If that's you, then here are the tips that I have for you. Your responsibility when you're going through grief or a significant loss is to let help in, because the people who love you are the people who are reaching out to you. People who care about you want to know that they have done something positive to help you through your process. That's what they're there for, because they're part of your family, they're part of your friends, right? You're there for them, let them be there for you. Let the relationship be equal by letting them in. Your job is to ask for help, let them know how to help you, so that way they feel like they're doing exactly what you need, not what they're trying to come up with, and then it might not be exactly what you need. Your job is to also check your pride at the door, because sometimes our pride is what gets in the way of us being able to receive help. Thinking, what will they think of me? What will they say about me? I'm not a weak person. I can handle this on my own. I'm the helper, not the one that gets help, right? Putting your pride down and allowing yourself to be human, right? Not superhuman, to be human, to have a bad day, have a bad moment, and to be able to ask for help, right? That sense of humility is what's going to allow your relationships to grow and take a deeper, more meaningful turn. Also, to be able to receive help, it's important that you let fear take a back seat, because sometimes we stop ourselves from getting help from others because we're afraid of what they think, what they say. We're afraid that they might ask us for something later on, right? So fear, right? The fear of being vulnerable, the fear of needing people, right? The fear of people disappointing you. There's so many fears that come into play that stop you from getting the help that you need. So let that fear take a back seat. Let yourself be open enough to trust that someone who's coming to help you is going to do just that. And you can be clear about your boundaries. You can be clear about where you need help, where you don't. So that way you're protected, but you're also allowing the help to come in. So tell fear to take a back seat, and no judgment, right? If someone is reaching out to help you, and if they don't do it exactly the way that you want it, or they mess up, or they don't get it, right? Try to have the sense that I'm not going to judge, because the heart is trying to do what's right. And maybe the hands are a little clumsy or they do things the wrong way. But what you're looking at is the heart came to help you. You may have to guide the hands into how they can help you. But by not being judgmental of that person in the situation, it allows them to want to come back and continually help. And they feel good because they were received, they weren't rejected, right? When you are in a state of grief, right, it's easy sometimes to take out that anger, that frustration on other people who have no part in it, and make them feel rejected and make them not want to come back to help. But if we're not being judgmental, it's a lot easier to receive the help, right? And to be honest and be able to talk to them if it needs to be guided in a certain way. Other tasks and responsibilities you have as a person that's grieving to allow help in is that you can ask for help to allow that person to realize that they have value and have meaning in your life, and they can come help you. And then to let them know after they've helped what that meant to you, right? How important that was, how significant that was. So they don't walk away feeling like they didn't do anything, like it didn't matter. So let them know that you appreciate them. Let them know that it was effective. Let them know that you were glad that they were there for you during your time of need. And it's important as a person that's grieving to remember that life is not meant to be done alone. That's why, right, when we lose someone we love, it hurts so bad because we're meant to be with them. They're meant to be part of our family, part of our world, part of our living experience. And when they're taken, whether suddenly or if it was happening progressively due to a long-term illness, it's still painful because we were not meant to do this alone. And so you're not meant to do life alone. And as you lose people in your life, you want to let the people that are living in to help you not to do life alone. And most importantly, I want to remind you to let love, kindness persevere. Let grace carry you, and let those who love you in so that they can help you. It's important to know who the top 3 people in your life are and allow them to come in and be there for you in your time of need. Allow people to love you. And for those of you who are looking to figure out what to do to help someone who's in grieving, remember, just sitting with them, being present, being available, being loving and kind and patient, right, is a gift all by itself. And it's a rare one in this world that we're so busy, we're so occupied, right? And we're connected and not connected in a lot of ways through social media. So your presence, your voice, right? Your companionship is important and it helps in the grieving process. Thank you. Until next time, remember, recover, and recreate your life. That is the purpose of this time in your life.